Hi everyone, this is Alex from BookGreener. I'm here today with Margaret Manning from 60andMe. I met Margaret about a year ago when she contacted me as she was interested in touring Bali. And we organized for her to stay at John, at Tom, different other places. We went to all the alilas together. And she's quite an interesting blogger, as well as many other things. The reason she's really with us today is to share tips on how do you interact with bloggers. Just to give you a bit of a story on Margaret, she's got a website called 60andMe. And
Yes,
she's
I
got
do.
500,000 people coming to her website. 500,000.
We have a great engaged community. So
Yeah, it's just very interesting to see how she's doing it, how she's managed to do that. That's going to be another video, but this one will be about really working well with the bloggers. I mean, from my experience, it's really hit and miss with bloggers. Sometimes you really get amazing bloggers that will write an amazing story, take amazing shots, and sometimes it's just not happening. So what can we do as hotel owners, as business owners, to try to limit the damage and get bloggers to actually do what they're committed to doing? How do you select the right bloggers to work with? A lot of questions. And Margaret, maybe a few words about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Margaret Manning. I am the founder of 60andMe, which is a website, or it's an online lifestyle magazine for women over 60. And we talk about all the topics that are of concern to older women. You know, everything from travel, fashion, beauty, to caregiving, grandparenting. It's really a spectrum of topics. And I think in that respect, I'm not a traditional blogger. You know, I have an online magazine where I talk to my community. Alex mentioned 500,000 come to our website every month, and we have a Facebook group of about 100,000 women. So we're a very active and engaged community, and that I think is one of the important things for you to ask a blogger. You know, more not just how many numbers they have. You know, they'll give you all the numbers in the world of how many hits and how many people, but how engaged their community is. And you can have a look at that. Go to their website and look at how many people are commenting on their articles. So for me,
Because you can buy likes, right? You can
Totally. I mean, if they say they've got 200,000 people on Twitter, well, they've probably bought 190,000 of them. And so those types of numbers don't really make any difference when you are trying to reach an engaged community. Now, the point of having a blogger coming to visit your hotel is to get more customers, is to get other people to get excited about your property and to come and visit. So you want a blogger who is more than just a numbers person. Now, I belong to a lot of blogging groups, so I know what a lot of them are about. And to be honest with you, a lot of bloggers are sponsoring their world travels by coming to hotels and just hanging out for a couple of days and writing about what they see. And there are a lot, however, who are doing a good job. I mean, there are genuine bloggers who want to make you successful.
So you receive an inquiry, you look at the number of followers, and you see how many times their posts are being shared, if they have comments on it. Then you said, okay, let's work with this blogger. Usually, I mean, from what I've seen quite often, hotels will say, all right, here is a deal, you can come for staying 2 days, and then they cross fingers hoping that something great will happen. How can we what can we advise operators in order to go one step further and kind of what should we ask bloggers? I mean, are we entitled to say, hey, I want 5 photos a day. This is the length of your article. How detailed shall we be in our expectations? And on the other side, what shall we offer to the bloggers?
Right. So in terms of having a conversation with the bloggers, totally the right thing to do. First of all, you've got to make sure that you're clear with them what your objectives are. I mean, if your objectives are simply to have an article published on their website with pictures and maybe some links or some posts on Facebook or tweets on Twitter, or maybe some number of pictures on Instagram, just be really specific. You'd be surprised how many bloggers make the comment, I wish I knew what they wanted. You know, just tell them what you want. Now, it may be that you really want someone to just come and talk about a special feature in your a new pool. You've got a new infinity pool that you'd like people to know about. So you want someone to be very specific. So tell them what your expectations are up front and make sure you agree in writing. You can do that in email before they arrive. Just say, okay, so you're going to get 2 free nights at our hotel, and in return, you are going to do this, this, and this. Now, you'll get pushback from some bloggers. They may even want to get paid for coming to, to stay at your place. But it's much better to have a blogger coming who understands what you want and is prepared to do what they commit to than to have someone come and just tell someone about the rooms or about the facility. So I think having shared values. Now, the other thing, though, that you mentioned of how to help your bloggers deliver that, and not just deliver the article, but something deeper, have a chat with them when they arrive about how they can do a better job at communicating the experience of your place rather than just the features. I mean, everybody can write about the room looks like this, it's got these, this facility or this feature, and, it's got this decor and this art on the wall. Everyone can do that. But what you hopefully are looking for with a blogger is them to write an article that speaks from their heart, that shares their experience with the person in their community so that they want to do that. They want to experience that. They don't really care how big the room is or what color the sheets are or whatever. They want to know that something happened to you, the blogger. You had an experience.
I recommend usually for the hosts or you operators to actually spend time and quality time with the blogger at the beginning of their stay and share your expectations, be transparent and communicate it clearly. Because otherwise you just expect and have expectations on what could be delivered, but it's hardly met. So how about activities? Do we treat a blogger like a VVIP and they should have massages and free meals, or what's your take on this?
Well, of course. I mean, everybody wants to have a great, complete end-to-end experience. So being treated to special services like a manicure or a spa massage, or being given a great meal, that really does count, but only really if it's adding to the experience. Honestly, I mean, you don't have to do all those things. But again, make sure that you agree up front what is going to be delivered as part of the package. I mean, for example, if you are hoping that the blogger is going to write about how they were transformed personally by their experience at your property, then letting them have try out everything, have a massage, if you offer dinner on the beach or you offer some unique thing that's going to really make that experience amplified, then I would say yes, if you're comfortable. But if it's not something that you really feel is going to be an advantage to you, then don't do it. I mean, I know I'm sounding a bit like maybe the bloggers that are watching are going to think, oh my God, she's not trying to get the most for us. But I think, as you said, Alex, it's a conversation. It's what is your goal in having that blogger there?
Do we write those unique selling points? Do we write all that prior? Say, hey, blogger, this is what you could be writing about, and those are so you kind of put the words in their mouth somehow? Well,
I mean, that's a little bit what I was saying, that you do want to put some of the words in their mouth. Like, you do want to make them to be sure to feature those things that are important to you. Okay. So, but I would wait until they got there to do that. I mean, before they come, I would say, I want this article, this length.
So you should be that precise.
Oh, yeah,
this. Okay,
totally.
Number of photos and which channels are you going to be using?
Yes.
And all these.
I would say those are not bad questions to ask.
And what is reasonable to ask? Like, is it like, how about 5 photos a day with this hashtag? Is that something reasonable to ask?
Well, I think a lot of people will argue about this because, I mean, people, as I said, some bloggers are really trying to get the most they can for the littlest effort, which is kind of human nature, I guess. But I think you do want to be very specific. Now, if you're not paying the person for staying, for one thing, I do think they need 2 nights.
Okay, minimum of 2 nights.
I forgot to mention that, and I really do think they need a minimum of 2 nights, or 2, not even a minimum of. I think they need 2 nights. One, they arrive on the day, they're getting settled. That first night, like Alex said, have a cup of tea or drink, and just have a level set with them what your expectations are, what you've agreed to before they got there, and then let them have the whole day, the whole next day, exploring the things you've mentioned are important to you to feature, and also just feeling the place. Just getting a feel for it. And I know when I write, I mean, I'm a kind of a funny blogger because I write purely on my experience. Of course, I mention, the decor, or I'll mention something that's evocative and makes an impression on me. But I really do sit down in that first day and think, what am I going to write about? What's the angle? You know, and you can help them with that angle.
Based on who they are. So
yeah. What your hotel is.
It's worth you spending a bit of time studying their blog, and if you decided to work with that specific blogger for a specific reason, say, oh, I love that type of article, that's the kind of message I'd like to be seen, just express that clearly so they know that it's easier for the blogger knowing what they're gonna have to write about.
Yeah, so, I mean, for example, my community is women over 50. So even though we have people in their 40s and so on, you know, the message should be, you know, what are kind of cool things that an older woman might really love? I mean, the angle, for example, could it be an anniversary trip that they come to your place? Or could it be a milestone holiday on their divorce? Or could it be, you know, just something that a bucket list item that, you know, that your hotel or your property offers? So you help the blogger to make it relevant.
Okay, maybe the blogger is in the property, we have agreed on everything, he's hopefully delivering, then what? We should just retweet, reshare, repost. How can a property take kind of benefit or take the full benefit of the blogger's work?
Well, I mean, of course, before the blogger leaves, you should, you know, show your appreciation, or, you know, say how much you enjoyed having them there, and give some feedback. You know, like, it was great that you were interested in this, and likewise for the blogger, you bloggers that might be watching, you know, let them know and appreciate what it was offered to you and given. And then I think just the blogger should let you know what's happening. Now, they may be on a trip, for example, where they're doing a lot of other visits, so you may not get that article printed for 2 weeks. I mean, that is another thing that you should check with them at the beginning. You know, are they going to be doing an immediate article? Are they going to include a video, or is it going to be after they get back from their Asian trip? Or
get a date. I would be as specific as trying to get a date prior to their arrival, so you actually know what to expect. Right. And if it's not clear, then there is always a good reason to postpone it.
Yeah, but also make sure that you tell them, you know, what kind of style you have as a company, or I mean, for example, if you're, you know, maybe an eco village or an eco community that is, you know, really doesn't mind if the video that I'm doing of your place is me standing, you know, beside a tree, just with a little bit of a wobble and saying, hey, this is amazing. This place has got, you know, there's like pink bananas here. I mean, have you ever seen pink bananas? Which I have seen in Bali. You know, if they don't mind the camera shaking a little and you being very natural, if that's your style, then just say, hey, go for it. You know, go for a video in your style. If you want it to be in a studio where they're sitting down, you know, properly talking about what they've experienced, tell them that. You know, share your style.
Classic human relation of establishing expectations and communication.
It's just chatting.
Okay, one thing very important, guys. With BookGreener, we want you to share with the rest of the community whenever you're getting contacted by a great blogger. So on Slack, we have a channel dedicated to that. So you're contacted by someone, you vet them, you think they're great. You're not gonna lose anything by sharing it with everyone. On reciprocal, that's a hard word. On a reciprocal basis, you're gonna be contacted by bloggers that have approached other members. So please do that. And you know, the bloggers, if they're happy, they are, as Margaret mentioned, they are on Facebook groups, they are on different bloggers groups, or they are contacted by other bloggers that have read the article. Hey, I've seen you've been in Bali and you've read this nice article. Maybe you've got tips. So you're doing a good job with the bloggers and taking care of them is likely to bring you more bloggers and the right ones. So and their reputation is at stake. So if they will not send you the wrong one. So cultivate those relationships. That seems to work.
And by the way, going back to what you said earlier, I didn't answer your question about sharing. And like Alex is saying, you know, you're all on Facebook, Twitter, you're on all those channels as well. Please do share them. I mean, and when you're on Twitter, you know, the blogger, use their sign so that they can know that you've retweeted, and then they can retweet. You know, it really is a virtuous circle. And you know, I think just be, you know, see yourself as part of a team. You're a team.
Great. Thank you, Margaret. That was really, really great. Great tips on how to engage with bloggers. I'm curious, guys. Tell us how you manage your bloggers. How do you manage to get them engaged? And what are your tips? Share them below the video with the rest of the members. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.